Hi, this is Cindy Cochran. Welcome to the archives of the Cindy Cochran Show. Remember, I'm live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11, right here on irlonestar.com. You can be a part of the show by calling 936-647-3776. Also, please visit my Facebook page, The Cindy Cochran Show. And let me say a special thanks to our show sponsors, BK Meyer Photography. If you would like to be a sponsor of The Cindy Cochran Show, contact me at cindy@irlonestar.com. Enjoy! Everybody, you are listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. Were you ready with my audio?
Yeah.
You did not have it on it. No, you didn't.
We're moving right along here. Cindy Cochran Show.
I know, he said, you got 10 seconds, Cindy. I was like, yeah, I can do that. Anyway, thank you so much for being with us. It is Friday. We are at the end of the week, and we're going to get this weekend started right. And things that you're going to do and be able to see, and especially movies and stuff. We love to talk about the movies. And always, you've got to know that anytime you want to call this show and be a part of the show and talk to me and ask me questions, or you tell me, it's okay, you can tell me whatever you think. And if you think I'm wrong about any subject matter, please join in and call 936-647-3776. And I also have a Facebook. Yes, I do. And it is the Cindy Cochran Show, and it's COCHRAN. And you can rant on that page. I had
Yeah, she really likes it when you curse on it.
Did you see? I had to remove one of our friends.
I just know you really like that stuff. So.
Oh yeah, I just love it when you know. Please don't say anything, that we couldn't say in mixed company or with kids watching, because my grandchildren will read that and say, like, hey, what does this word mean? It starts with a... No, and so if you guys want to, suggest a guest is great. You can suggest a guest, or you can also give me some subject matters that you want to talk about, that you like to hear me talk about. I love it. And if you missed yesterday's rant... Did you call it a rant? I don't want to call it a rant, but we got off on some political sides of politicians lying. And I named this
I found a video for you.
Which one
of
was
your
that?
favorite woman, Hillary Clinton, of all the lies she's told.
Is there one?
Yeah,
it's just
I'll
a
send it to
composite
you.
of it?
Yeah.
Oh, that is. What was I lying about? What she's done? No, I was just.
Well, she's been in the game long enough to where it doesn't work.
Kind of just rolls off her back. She doesn't care. Okay, but here's the deal: is that if you missed it, and if you don't have love for Hillary in your heart, and you feel like nobody is speaking out on all the atrocious things that she's done and the lies and all.
That's not very Christian of you.
No, I'm reporting on what has been said and what she has said herself and what she has done to herself. I'm reporting on that just to keep people, be aware of that when you go into the voting booth. Is that who you want representing this country as President of the United States? And I'm calling it Liar, Liar, Pantsuits on Fire. So when that comes out on archives, be sure and go to that. And I may speak to things that you have in your heart but you would never say out loud, because people would get upset with you. But I went ahead and said it. I don't know. I was channeling maybe Donald Trump, but I don't know. No, this is what I feel and what I've done. I a lot of times listen to like Rush Limbaugh, and I'll think, did he listen to my show the day before and now he's talking about it? Because I hadn't heard him talk about something before. And then I hear that the feds are saying to the doctors, the psychiatrists, you have somebody in your practice that you're working with that you believe that if they had a gun, they would do great damage to themselves or other people. You need to report that. Now, that has got a lot of controversy because people think, wait a minute, I thought we had a doctor-patient, confidentiality thing going here, and now you're saying that you're telling them they better report it, because if your patient does do something, with a gun, with whatever, and you didn't report him and warn people that he should be looked at and investigated, then you're going to be liable as well. So they've got the doctors scared now, and I don't know which side I fall on that, but I did say a few months ago, that if we have a no-fly list, then we should have a no-buy list. And if people are worried about a family member that they feel has gone off the deep end and they can't talk to them because they only get mad and they're afraid of them, but they have a place to call and say, don't let this guy buy a gun. He's very upset, or it's horrible right now. Don't let him buy a gun. And there's a no-buy list, and that people could call into that without making the person upset or mad. And I understand people are going to say, yeah, but people could start, calling in their enemies and just do that just to harass, the people. But it's in the investigation that, if this person goes to try and buy a gun and when they enter his name into a database, then there's a red flag that goes up. Wait a minute. Somebody reported that this guy should not be buying a gun. So now the federal government is starting to come around, and it could be because they heard the Cindy Cochran Show. I'm not for sure, but I think that somebody, everybody's listening, and we've begged the NSA to please listen to us, and they want to record our shows, do that, because we want to get all the listeners that we can possibly get. So anyway, there it is. If you missed it, it will be the December 7th show, because today's the 8th, right? And today's the 8th? Okay, so it was yesterday's show. It was the 7th, December 7th, and that'll be on our archive. When do you think, Richard?
Sometime today.
Yeah, because he's already got the synopsis of it, and it's all ready. And so if
she sends them so late in the night, I wonder what job does she work?
When do I sleep? Because I have to wait till everybody's in bed, and then I can get up and start doing the stuff I'm supposed to do for today, show prep, as they say. And I
show prep, you going up and down Main Street, walking around. I'm like, what is this lady doing?
I am at home behind my computer screen, and I'm looking at what's going on in the world. And sometimes it's so depressing you want to shut it down, but there's a lot of fun things that happen. Now, American Idol is in its last season. That's an exciting thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good for the entire world. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think I heard something about Lifetime Channel being shut down, and then E being shut down, and what is that station you like so much? Bravo. I heard that's going down too.
That's not going down. That is not going down at all, because they've got too many hit shows on that show. But American Idol, I haven't watched it since the very first season. I did watch it. But then after that, I did not watch it anymore. But I saw it because Samantha was saying, you got to listen to some of these people that are on here. And so I just tuned in. And about that time, this girl comes on, and she's 15 years old, and her mother is in the military. And she was, very sad that she finally got this chance. She's been working for all her life, that she wants to be on American Idol.
Sounds typical.
And that she had lost. She was afraid that her mother would not be able to see this, and that, but she's going to be singing the song.
Does she not have a TV?
Everything was dedicated to this. Well, she's in Afghanistan or something, and she's
Is it not
busy.
on YouTube recorded so she can see it later?
Well, of course she could see it later. She wanted her to be there. She just wanted her to be there real bad. All of her other family, her dad and aunt and brothers and sister were there, but she really wished her mom. They're very close. So anyway, they're talking to her about that.
You mean they're not really close proximity?
No.
Right.
No, right. They're just very close spiritually. And so she sings and does a beautiful job, like a Alicia Keys type of person, her sound and all. And so they give her all yes, and she's crying, and she said, one more person that we want to bring in here to support you. And the mother walks in, and it was just a cry fest. It was just amazing. Everybody was crying, and it was a great time. That was a really good idea that they had to do that. So it's a good thing she did pass all the judges. Do you think that was maybe a setup? No, she was good, but there are probably others better. But you think it was a setup? I can't see you, Richard, today. You're way behind that big computer. Okay.
No, I think that show is completely scripted. I think it's so funny about how.
Do you really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's just amazing to me that that's entertaining.
But they had this one girl come on that I would agree with you on, especially the ones like they're gonna fly in the mother from Afghanistan to be there. They're certainly gonna let this girl pass, or they've heard her and know that she's good enough to pass.
Yeah.
But this one
I
girl
think it'd be
came
great
out.
if they did a wild card and be like, no, sorry.
Yeah,
And so we can see the tears together.
Yes, yes.
With the mother and the daughter.
So,
this is perfect.
Because you're so lousy, we've brought your mother in to comfort you.
Yeah.
Here she is. But they had a girl come in, and she was, because before they set up, sometimes it's not so great to be so confident and so cocky coming in to this. It doesn't impress us at all. And this girl comes in showing how she was just real cocky, like, hey, how y'all doing? Hey, it's good to see you. How's Brittany doing? Or she's asking questions about their love lives and stuff. And they're going like, okay. And then she just keeps talking. And J-Lo, hey, how's it going?
I saw the backup plan. It was awful.
So your new shades of blue. What's that all about? Anyway, she kept talking to them, and you could see their smiles going away. Like, go on and sing something. So I'm going to tell you after this break what happened to her. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back with the exciting conclusion of what happens to the girl that just came in a little too confident in American Idol. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. Don't go away.
Conroe now has another first. The Cindy Cochran Show. Mornings at 10 a.m. on irlonestar.com.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Hello, Montgomery County. I'm Rachel Baldwin with Special Olympics Texas, Area 6. Are you a fan of courage? Are you a fan of determination? Are you a fan of acceptance, grace, and skill? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics. Make it official. Volunteer, coach, and/or compete and be a fan of dignity and acceptance. The dedication of our Special Olympics Texas volunteers provides mainstreaming experiences for athletes with intellectual disabilities. You will touch the heart of another person, and it will move you in a meaningful way that lifts the spirit. Please visit the Heart of East Texas Area 6 webpage at www.sotx.org. Also, like us on Facebook to be a fan and be part of Special Olympics Texas.
The Cindy Cochran Show. Real reality radio.
Good morning, everybody. You're still listening to the Cindy Cochran Show, if you'd forgotten over that 2 minutes, listening to those promos that are very important to keep this station alive. And this station also gives so many PSAs out to community services, and because this is community radio, right? Right. And Richard makes sure that that's always a top priority with him. So anyway, on American Idol last night, this girl comes out really way too confident, way too cocky, and she's just like, hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? And they say, finally they get her to stop talking and say, okay, let's sing. And they say, what song are you going to do? She says, well, I'm not really sure. I think I may do...
This is scripted.
No.
It has to be.
No, she starts...
I don't think... People don't realize is when you're at this stage, when they're paying for flights and things like that,
yeah,
then they know exactly what's going to happen when they put them on stage. They know exactly. This isn't the preliminary rounds where they go to the different cities and there's lines of people. They already know their candidates. So, yeah.
Well, the way that...
Come on.
I think they know probably who's going to be... They've already got that decided. Who's going to make this and who's going to be on the regular show. But this girl starts out, she says, well, I have a few songs that I'd really like to do, but I'm trying to think. I think I'll do this one. And then she starts doing that stuff, and then she goes like, and then she goes, I can't remember the rest of the words. And so I thought, okay, this is one of the ones that they're going to make, it's going to be like they think funny. And it's embarrassing, and you're so uncomfortable. And she says, can I try just another one? Because I don't think that's the best one for me. And they are looking at each other like, okay, go ahead. And so she tries another one and gets halfway through it and cannot remember the words and tries and asks Jennifer Lopez, do you remember, what's the words go? I can't remember. And then she gave her a few words, and she's, oh, yeah, okay, I got it. And then she wants to start singing. She still forgot the words. I certainly can understand that. She says, it's just, this is so overwhelming, and I'm just so like starstruck with you guys being here. And they said, well, I'm sorry, we have to move on, and you're just not ready for this. And she starts going, please, Jennifer, please. And
give me a chance. And of course they give her a chance, and she's miraculous.
No, she does not. They do not. I thought the same thing. I'm as cynical as you are, Richard, but no. She says, I'm sorry. No, you have to move on. And I thought they were going to call security because she just kept standing there going, y'all don't understand how poor this is. So anyway, she finally left. But the worst thing that happened, and this totally wasn't scripted, was the show before. I just read about this. The first show that they had, the premiere of the last season of American Idol, they're sitting there, and this girl comes on that had lost 125 pounds. And because this is what she wanted to be as a singer, and she knew people said, oh, you have a great voice, but you're just too big to be, a star. So she lost the weight and got herself totally prepared physically and everything, ready to be on American Idol. She comes on and she told her story, and then she starts singing. And while she's singing, amazing singer, Jennifer Lopez leans over to her partner and goes, she still sings like a heavy girl. Now, I know, everybody else out there knows that that's probably the worst thing she could have said, and she's going to get mail. And then she stated it again when she left the room, and she's still on air, and she said, I can't believe she really does sing like a heavy girl. That was amazing. So she won, of course, and won being able to move on, but Jennifer Lopez is in it. She's got a lot of hate mail from people saying, wait a minute, so you're saying that heavy girls sing better than girls that are the right size. So that was
yes, actually, that's my preference when it comes to ladies who can belt it.
It has to be somebody heavy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Aretha Franklin was certainly...
Yeah, she set the standard.
Yeah, she would have... And
I guess Billie Holiday. I mean, I don't know.
No, Billie Holiday was drugged out skinny. She was, but she could belt it and didn't
Why'd you
matter.
tag that drug thing to it?
Because that's what she was known for in her career.
Not her beautiful voice?
No,
for her. I think so. You know her because of her drug habits, her negative side of her life.
That was so much a part of it. That's why
that's
do
Diane,
drugs.
That's Diane Warwick you're thinking of. I think that's what you're thinking.
Dionne Warwick.
Yeah.
Dionne Warwick. She wasn't. I don't think she was known for her drug addiction.
Well, she's skinny. She's drug skinny.
No.
And I think she had a gambling habit, right?
No, shut up.
Something. I mean, you can't be successful
drug
without
me.
some faults, right?
Yeah, I mean, you
Except
gotta
Donald
have some
Trump. I mean, he's the
shade.
second coming. We know that.
He's perfect. No, I think all his bad stuff is out there. He's put it out there, and he, jumped everybody on accusing him of things he already told what he's done and hadn't done. But and he always tells you the great things he's done. But that, poor thing, he started out with only $1 million.
I can't believe someone's asking. I can't believe this hasn't come out about him as saying, "Oh, if you become president, how many people are you going to fire?"
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I think that would be great.
How many people are you going to fire? It's so easy for him to say, "You're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired." So
I think that would be great.
It's like it's okay to say that.
That's what he does in his weekly addresses. He's like, "Oh yeah, we got to end this address with a firing." Okay, let's see. Secretary of State,
you're
fired, but you can't really fire me. But
and all the
you're fired.
IRS, you're fired.
Symbolically, you're fired.
That would be awesome.
Hey, ISIS, you're fired.
That would be great. So I also thought, she's going to have a lot of trouble with that, and there's going to be a backlash for her on that, and she doesn't care one bit because she's now going on to this new series that's coming out on TV.
Who's this?
Jennifer Lopez. It's called Shades of Blue with Ray Liotta.
It's already out, I thought.
Well, the
pilot.
I think the people that are starting to binge watch it, they go like, how are they going to make a series out of this? Because it seemed like a one-shot deal.
Yeah, like a mini series kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what? They did that with Breaking Bad, though. That's why I didn't really like that, because the plot. He had cancer, so he in your mind he's like he's gonna die, and that's why he's doing all these awful things like making meth. But of course, at the end of the season, he's cured, and they never touch on that again. And I'm like, man, that's lame. I wanted this guy to go to the root of his soul to do all these bad things for his family. Mm-hmm. But he still does all these bad things, but it's not because he's dying.
Right.
Which I thought was, to me, that was an interesting part of that show. And then they took away the interesting part, so I was like, this show's stupid.
Well, are people watching? Because I do not watch any of the networks and the series and things like that. But are people watching those less and watching more Netflix where they can decide when they want to watch it?
I think Netflix reported how many billions of hours were watched after the holiday because the 2015, and I think there was something like cable companies lost 20% viewers or 20% of subscribers last year.
That's funny.
So
that's
I know
good.
because it's a theory I have, a conspiracy theory in a sense of what's going to happen to the movie or the entertainment industry, and it kind of coincides with football. I think what's really going to happen is the bubble of the cable companies is going to burst, and DirecTV, because for example, to give you the easiest way I can say it is, the DirecTV signed a $7 billion contract with NFL, and that's a lot of money over the course of I think it's 10 years or something like that.
Right.
And so when that 10-year contract comes up, by the time it ends, I don't think DirecTV is going to have the money to pay more money because they don't actually have money in the bank because so many people are unsubscribing from DirecTV.
That's true. I did hear that. Yeah.
And because any business practice, especially the NFL, they're all about the money, the end game, and they if they're not going to get the same amount or more money, they're going to go to somebody else. What? And because that's how they do their payroll. For the next 10 years, they did their payroll based off this $7 billion. And if they don't have that $7 billion next year, they're after that, how are they going to pay for all their extremities that they've already occurred, all these extra players and how, all that kind of stuff. And that's why I think, when it comes down to that industry is going to have a problem in 20 years.
Well,
because Netflix is spending a lot of money on a lot of productions. And what's crazy to me is the most watched Netflix film of last year was the Adam Sandler Ridiculous 6.
Oh, brother.
And that movie was awful.
But I want you to look back in history. And I lived through this. When television came along and started getting popular and it was played all day, all the theaters started worrying about the movie theaters, started worrying about, we're going to lose our people. We're going to have to start shutting down. And we're done for. And then when the movies came out on CDs and DVDs DVDs, and there you could go buy the movie and come home, just wait till it goes to DVD. So the movie theaters thought again, we're done for, and they that hasn't proved out because people still need a place to go for
No,
dates.
it has in a sense of how many movie theaters have you seen and who owns those movie theaters. Because really, when that transition happened with movie theaters, you got the big companies buying all the other theater companies and shutting them down.
Well,
Because there's been a resurgence due to like studio movie grills or food with your movie.
the D-Box.
Because it's funny. I love one of my favorite things to watch. Hollywood Reporter puts on this little video called it's kind of like in the actor studio kind of thing, and they invite a certain type of area of film. So when they had a directors round table with your favorite director Quentin Tarantino, the guy who did Gravity. And he's doing The Reverend. I forget. He's a Spanish guy. I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah.
And then they had Danny Boyle, who did like Steve Jobs. And then they had two other guys who you probably don't really know that well. But they have a conversation. And one of the conversations that Quentin Tarantino argued about was the price of going to the movie theater. Mm-hmm. And he goes, it's funny. It's when the movies started becoming more popular in the 30s and the 20s. It's because it became an entertainment sector of the society that poor people could afford. And so it was something that normal people could go to. And it wasn't like going to the opera. It wasn't like going to the symphony. It was like everyone could afford going to it. Now today he feels, if you take your family to the movies, it's going to cost you $50 minimum. And a lot of people don't have $50 minimum to go see Inside Out. That's not something that, and then especially if you get popcorn.
Well,
and even that.
He should worry above everyone else. He should worry about that because I wouldn't pay 2 cents to go see his movie.
Well, you did.
So
And
I did it, but
no, I think, and that's a valid thing going on today. Is that's why people feel more comfortable going to the studio movie grills is because they're actually making me food that I can have, even though it's like chicken tenders.
Yeah,
but you're paying for a normal meal you buy at Chili's, but while watching a movie.
But we've evolved to being able to watch something while we eat. It's kind of like it's hard. That's why I have to bring my hamburger and my spaghetti and stuff into the movie theater, and they don't know about it. But that's the way I can
look at who owns these theaters.
Right, it's big conglomerates. You're right.
The bigger companies own it, and now they're running. The way the film industry makes money is really interesting, especially the theater. Like if I own a movie theater, you're not going to be rich. If you own a movie theater, it's really the reason you own the movie theater is because you either love movies, watching movies in the theater, or you're an extension of a production company.
But they feel like they're making their money on the concession. We know that. That's where they make their money. And so, and when these companies that come together and start forming a block for buying up movies, and they can suppress, they can push, they can do whatever they want to with different movies because they have the power to do that. It's like when, in the long time ago in the 50s, 40s, the movie theater owners were the ones that chose what movie was going to be on, and the stars would lobby these owners to say, please take my movie, please have my movie. Lowe's Incorporated was the one that owned most of the theaters in Houston, and they were out of Dallas. And they would come together, and their decisions were made over what movies and what would what they want above what the movie the companies MGM and all those guys would do. But there was a lot of conspiracy and stuff that went on because my grandmother and grandfather were working for Lowe's at that time, and they would come home and just gripe about how they do business. But my grandfather had all these telegrams from all these different stars, and it's like, God, this is so cool about them saying, hey, we're so happy that you're the owner of this or the manager of this theater. Please play our movie. And it makes it fun.
Well, today, let me give you some stats right here. This is pretty crazy. So the biggest theater company right now is Regal Entertainment.
That's right.
Like the Marquees, they own AMC theaters, but they still have AMC. Like it's kind of like everyone's kind of tied into it. Right. But they started downsizing in 2013. They cut their full-time managers in half. Mm-hmm. So every full-time manager, this day they had 2 at each theater. They got rid of 1, and they hired a part-time. They got part-times. And then what they did is they changed the game for the movie producers or the movie makers. Is basically at the end of 2015, Regal gets up to keep about 45 cents of every dollar of tickets sold in the third quarter of the year of
what were they keeping before? Does it say what they were able to keep before?
I can find it, but they negotiated. But then the concessions were about 30% of their profit. They reported. Right. So so they think about it. They make all their profit from concessions. No, they don't.
No, I was talking about the theater owner. I mean the manager of that theater, their theater keeps so much of the concession. And
well, I mean, every dollar, basically it's saying 95% of every dollar they spend to have the concession, they get 95% back.
so yeah, you're
So,
right.
I mean, that's
You're
how
right.
much they're overcharging for everything. But no, it's...
But I don't let them.
Well, basically, the reason we're telling your listeners this, because they're probably like, oh, this is so boring. But the reason these theaters can kind of dictate what you said, who gets to play there and how it works, because
Right.
basically Sony was involved with Regal. So they have a lot of Sony movies that play there.
That's true. And when you see, you're like, why aren't they playing this over here? Why, why do I have to drive to go see this? And that's the reason.
You know what's
why.
happening in downtown Houston right now with Regal and their marquee is they're boycotting the biggest. They're not playing Star Wars because there's a new theater in town called iPic. And it's like a lounge movie theater. Like they have huge couches, and I kid you, it's like ridiculous. But they're boycotting it, and the way I'm like, so let me get this straight. They're gonna not play the biggest movies of 2015. Like they didn't play Hunger Games. They didn't play.
Boy, that really hurt them.
Yeah, and I'm like, and my favorite one was this is a place where you have to pay for parking.
Oh no!
So it's like, who are these people thinking
Yeah.
they are? Like, I'm gonna pay $15 for a ticket.
It was
$5
like
for
Edwards
parking.
Cinema.
Yeah, it's Edwards on West
Yeah.
Lane and 59.
Yes.
And it's just, I mean, like, it's so crazy to me how these movie theaters do their practice. 'Cause-
Well, I'll tell you, if they didn't have that butter, I wouldn't go to that theater. So, I mean, people go for all different reasons.
Well,
and we got a break.
yeah, we gotta go to break.
Yeah, we've got a break that we've just about missed. Listen, we'll be right back. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. Don't go away. We will be with you, and we're going to talk about what would you do with $700 million. I know what I would do.
I'd
Do
buy
you know?
my Regal marquee on West Lane and show Star Wars
all day.
all day, every day.
We'll be right back.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the first daily talk show serving Montgomery County.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
You are listening to Lone Star Net Radio with the Cindy Cochran Show. This is Dick Schissler doing your weather and traffic real quick for Montgomery County. 55 degrees outside. We're still experiencing some fog and mist throughout the county. Humidity is around 96%. And today's weather forecast, 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2 p.m. today. So it's going to rain later into the evening. We're going to experience fog till around 11, and then also be mostly cloudy with a high of 65 and a low of 48. Rain's going to get a little worse tonight. We're expecting some thunderstorms with winds as high as 10 miles an hour, so please be careful tonight. It is Friday. So, yeah, be careful. That's right. You're listening to Lone Star Radio. Let's get back to the traffic here in the Montgomery County area. I-45 northbound and southbound is good to go all the way from Willis all the way through Spring. If you're on the 242 east and west all the way to 1488 and to Patton Village, you're good to go. There is a major slowdown, though, at the Conroe Porter Road cross-section right there, but that's normal for that light. 105, you're good to go. There is an incident being reported, unfortunately, heading eastbound right there by the lake on 105, and then also on 1488 from Magnolia to 45, you're good to go, east and west. We're going to get back to the Cindy Cochran Show after these messages. You can always message her on Facebook, the Cindy Cochran Show. Make sure to like it and follow, and you can get all the podcasts, all the upcoming guests, all that stuff from Cindy Cochran.
The Conroe YMCA's benchmark adaptive programming for kids and adults is Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith is an equine-assisted therapy program serving children and adults with adaptive needs. The riders in our Leap of Faith program are working to address and manage specific aspects of their lives impacted by illness, injury, or disability. The Leap of Faith program has experience working with riders who are living with attention deficit or other hyperactivity disorders, hearing impairments, visual impairments, developmental delays or disabilities, autism, Down syndrome, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, head traumas, brain injuries, and paralysis. Our program uses horseback riding to develop self-confidence and self-esteem, to increase upper and lower body strength, assist in respiratory issues, and establish a trusting relationship between the rider and their horse. Not only do these activities aid in the physical and mental development of the rider, but they also foster self-reliance and independence. For more information regarding our program, to become a rider, or to volunteer with a great group of people, please call our Welcome Center at 936-441-9622 or visit our website at www.ymcahouston.org/Conroe.
Tune in to Chamber Chat with your host, Courtney Galley and Samantha Good, with the Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce, every first Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. I'm one of your hosts, Courtney Galley. Samantha and I will chat about the Conroe Chamber's upcoming events and programs for the month. Relax with a cup of joe or your favorite drink for Chamber Chat.
Our community's animal shelters cannot absorb accidental litters of kittens and puppies. Approximately 80% of the animals entering our shelters will not make it out alive. Please help be a part of the solution. Please spay and neuter your pets. Many low-cost options are available. Visit texaslittercontrol.org to learn more. That's texaslittercontrol.org. And remember, real Texans don't litter. Please spay and neuter your pets.
The Cindy Cochran Show. Even if these walls could talk, they couldn't get a word in edgewise.
You are so right, Dennis O'Connor. I love his voice. Yes, that's Dennis O'Connor doing that. Hey, we are going to talk money right now, and is a favorite subject of mine, not because I got it, because I just, I can feel the effect of it when I do have it, but the effect doesn't last very long. That's the problem. But I enjoy the people that win these lotteries and stuff, and the stories that happen. That was a reality show I wanted to do so bad whenever they started. They brought the lottery to here, and listening to people that and their stories and things that had happened to them was so interesting to me. There was a family that won a big lottery in Lubbock. And this family was a nice, wonderful, church-going, happy family until that happened. And I mean, it totally ruined them, tore their family up. And it was so sad, because there you go. You know, you've got all that money and you think, no, I'm going to be happy. Yeah, I'm going to be happy. And it doesn't work out that way. And so then people have to think, okay, all right, what am I going to do if I win this money? And you need to prepare yourself. What if you did? What if you actually did win the money? What would you do? What would be your goals? Would you be able to handle all the relatives that come out of the woodwork? Because that's what they say happens. People, they find any kind of lineage toward in your family, they will they'll claim that they're part of you and that they want help and they need help. And friends and people that you knew didn't like you before, but now they like you. What do you do with them? I think it would be hard. You'd have to go into hiding for a while and try and figure out what you're going to do with that money, because $700 million, and then I think the buyout would be like $4 or $5 million or something. They give you, if you don't want to deal with the 700, they give you a portion of it as a buyout. And would you take the buyout, or would you want that for the rest of your life? What would you want, Richard? Just that part. What would you say?
Rest of my life.
You'd want the whole thing. You don't want them taking part, like a one lump sum.
No,
you wouldn't like.
I would hire a lawyer, immediately say how long can I keep this going for? Is it in after I die, or can I put it in a trust? As long as the trust is still open, the money keeps being put into it. Because
right.
I mean, that would be really interesting, because I can totally see the state or whoever's in charge, like, oh, he get hit by a bus. We don't have to pay him anymore. We just saved ourselves hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, if it's in a trust, then you let other people be able to.
And that's what I would look up, because I mean, I'm comfortable in my life. I don't need millions of dollars. My lifestyle's perfect. I have a nice girlfriend. I have a nice radio station.
And nice talent that works for you. That just loves
I don't need
you.
anything more.
Yeah. No, that is
Maybe new
that's
underwear,
true.
but I mean that's just everyone needs new underwear.
Did you ever see The Jerk with Steve Martin?
Yeah.
That was the funniest line. I was crying. I was laughing. Sorry, this is all I'll ever need. This and well, maybe this. And I think probably everybody you'd have to go through some kind of weird, mind blowing experience, and you're feeling like I have all this and the power I could have with this, and the people that I could buy to come over and see me.
You do what people do. I read online who had a lot of money is they go to the bank and they do like a inquiry of how much money is in their bank. Like they print that little receipt and they leave it on the floor, and they want someone to pick it up and be like, "This guy has $2 million."
Now, my sister, who's a CPA and has to deal with people with all kind of different, how much money that they have, all different levels, and she said, you know what, my total belief is this, and this is for men. She says, not much for women, but for men. If a man would get a bank book and put in there $3 million, $5 million, whatever they want to put in there, and write that in as their balance, and then close that book, and they can open it up whenever they want to. And she says, I can't tell you what that does to me. They just want to know that it's there, and they see it written out somewhere. And she said, I think they'd be perfectly satisfied if they felt like that was in the bank for them. And I've always thought I never have enough in my bank account ever to go back and dwell on and think about and wash myself in that balance. Never. I believe in circulating the green and doing all that. So that has never been a problem for me. But and I grew up where we didn't have anything, but we thought we were rich. We had so much fun, and it was great. We thought we were rich, and
you might buy the brand name cereal.
Start buying the brand name cereal. Yeah,
I think that might be like the shifts.
You're right. I could do that.
Might buy the organics in the produce section. I can afford it.
And you don't have to buy the Kroger brand every time that you go there. But that is so true, because I can remember once I just did not have enough money to get the the tomato sauce that I usually get, the Hunt's tomato sauce. And Sam was just aghast that he thought I had to buy every brand name when we first got married. He said, you don't need to buy a brand name there. And I said, no, that's what my mom bought. That's what I'm going to buy, and that's how I'm going to do it. And so first time I bought it, and the Kroger brand was better than Hunt's brand. So I was just shocked. I went and had better flavor.
I can't believe you support that family.
Yeah, when I found out that John Kerry's wife owned all that, that was difficult to swallow. But anyway, I think that
it's Heinz.
It's Heinz, not Hunt's.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I bet somebody totally made Hunt's just to confuse people.
It's Heinz. That's right.
Like how hard is it to make ketchup, folks? Okay, let's see if we can screw with this Heinz family.
I don't think Heinz even ever made canned tomatoes. I think it was always just the ketchup is what they were involved with. But I think that it's interesting that Kroger's brands, and I was told, though, this is what I was told, is that, I keep hitting the mic, sorry, is that Kroger would partner up with Heinz or Hunt's or whoever's making some product, and they would just take their wrapper off, put theirs on, and lower the price, and then people would buy it, and they'd still be getting money off of what the Kroger sales. But Kroger wasn't manufacturing it. Kroger was just taking and changing the label and lowering the price.
Well, that's why I think Trader Joe's is really owned by the Mexican cartels.
The gun trader shows? What
Trader,
shows?
Trader Joe's.
Oh, Trader Joe's.
The grocery stores.
Oh, okay. You think they're owned by the...
Oh, yeah. That's the way that's how they launder their money.
I've never shopped at one of those places.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap, and it's pretty good.
It is good? It has quality stuff in there, huh? Well, here's the thing. Meat has gone crazy trying to buy, like hamburger meat and all that.
It's actually pretty expensive per pound on a good cut of steak.
It really is.
Last night I bought an iron skillet steak, flat iron, and it was about $10, and it was probably about 2 pounds, I think, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
No, we're
Kroger.
At Kroger.
Yeah. I made some fajitas last night.
Okay.
Absolutely delicious.
I
bought an avocado too. That was only 80 cents though, so that's nice.
80 cents for the avocado.
Yeah.
One avocado.
No organic.
They
try to push that on you. I hate that.
They do, but you know what though? The squash does look a little plumper and fluffier.
I don't care.
Know what does organic do to that.
Get out of here. One thing it hit me last night though. I wanted to see what you thought of, because you live by that great Kroger over in Willis.
Signature, yeah.
Like, the Kroger I went to was on 2920 in Kirkendall, and it was depressing to go in there.
Isn't
Like,
that horrible?
the whole store was just a depressing store.
Oh,
Even their
man.
beer aisle was depressing. And it's never depressing going down the beer aisle. But
No.
and then it hit me like, man, HEB, even if their produce and things aren't better, like they present their stuff 10 times more.
What, HEB?
Yeah, the way their presentation is at HEB is so much better.
I don't. Well,
Because you don't have an HEB around. I mean, if you go down the one on 105 in the Loop, I mean, you go in there and there's people cooking food.
Yeah.
I feel like they should throw fish at me, or like, in
Oh,
Seattle
I tell
or
you.
wherever that place is. I mean, things should be happening at that HEB.
But you know what? If we had $700 million, Richard, we would not have to. We'd have people go do all that stuff for us, and they would come to us. They'd walk the cow.
Well, no,
in front of
actually,
you and
if
wonder,
you
want from
live
here?
in the Bunker Hill area on I-10, they start doing curbside delivery at the HEB.
At the HEB?
At the HEB, you can order it online. You just drive up. The Rice Epicurean markets do that already. They've been doing it for like 10 years.
Right, yeah.
But so HEB's doing a test, folks. If you like HEB, they might be doing curbside delivery, which is to me is great because
Wait a minute. Does that mean I have to walk out to the curb and get it, or are they going to bring it up
I think
to the
they help
door?
you put it in your car. So Cindy, you might need to clean out your car every 5 days.
Be like a drive-through.
Yeah,
was
and I think that's great.
Now that voice
Because
that you just
being a
heard.
guy, I never who likes shopping. Like last night, shopping was depressing. Like I just went through a whole deal.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No.
And-
I love to shop. It's like going to Europe to me. Just to be able to go in there and shop. I love shopping, and I missed. That was one of the things I
think it's
missed.
because she gets away from everybody.
Right.
that's probably what it is.
And I love it. No, not all the time. Most of the time, the grandchildren are with me, and
Why
they go
why
play
are
in the
all your
toy
activities always you by yourself? Like, do you just not like people? You don't like your grandkids? Like, you like going to the movie theater. You like going shopping.
But I take them, but then I go by
and-
myself.
Yeah, but you don't have to talk to them.
But I go by myself because I enjoy being by myself. I didn't for a long time, and all of a sudden this epiphany came. I went, you got to like yourself better because you need.
That's what
you're
the
gonna be
bathroom
with
visits are
yourself
for.
a lot.
Right?
Yeah, but when you have children and stuff, that's not even by yourself a lot of times either. They come in, they want to talk to you about stuff. Hey, excuse me, and they open the door and they go like, I got to tell you what happened today at school. But the laugh and the voice that you're hearing on the other end of this microphone is our one and only Dennis O'Connor.
Hola.
And, yes, and thank you for dropping in.
I was just sitting out on the sidewalk listening to you. That's all.
He said, "This is the only radio show I can sit and
Smoke
and smoke and listen to at the same time."
What do you think about the position of the bench outside?
Facing our way.
We changed
Well, it gets wet though.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah,
what
other than getting wet, it's okay. Yeah. Well, because it doesn't matter which way you face when you're listening to a show.
yeah. Well, some people like looking in.
But
yeah.
You're gonna like it
But
even
you
more.
can't see the reflection on the glass. You can't see in real well. You got to stick your face right up to the window.
So
to
maybe
really
I
be
should
able
put
to
it
see.
up to the window.
Well, no, you need some spotlights on your faces while you're on the radio.
I agree.
Here.
I
There you
so
go.
agree.
Let's make
But-
Cindy sweat.
But you're gonna enjoy even more that position because of the banner that's gonna go up after the show. We have the Cindy Cochran Show banner going up.
Ooh.
I know it's gonna be a big thing.
Main Street will never be the same.
I was gonna
Never
post a
be the
note,
same.
her phone number on it, down to her face. So it's like,
Here's
call
her-
me.
Here's her cell phone number.
I think that'd be a good deal, like to mess with her for about 6 months. Every public bathroom I go into,
Yeah.
I write her phone number somewhere.
Yeah, but she announces this is a call-in show, and nobody ever calls in.
No,
You
no,
know,
nobody.
I call in all the time.
Nobody does.
So that's not a big threat for Cindy
listen.
to post her phone
Listen,
number.
people do not want to interrupt what I'm saying by calling in. You know that's the truth. They're afraid that they may miss something from my brain and having to
that's
listen to
it.
them talk.
That's it.
I've already got that settled in my mind.
Deep fans.
I do, because when you hear me talking, you know that you go like, let me hear what she's got to say. I can't believe she's saying this. I can't
Right,
even believe
yes.
this coming out of her mouth. So why would I call in and be associated with this? Right?
You're listening to the Dick and Cindy Show, reality radio.
The only thing I have a problem with Richard is when I talk about Star Wars, he totally monopolizes the whole conversation.
I love Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan.
Tell him why you went and saw it a second time.
I'm going to see it more than twice.
are?
I'm a big giant Star Wars fan from day one.
Were you not bothered by
Oh,
What?
here we go.
how she got to use the Force so quickly? I thought that kind of undermines the whole idea of like a Padawan and like being an apprentice and like going through training. And I mean, like to me, it's like, oh, anyone can do it as long as they have strong with the Force. They'll just figure it out.
Well, they got those whatever it is.
Metachlorians.
Yeah. So,
but how did she know? How did she know to
teamed
use
up with them,
the speech to convince the stormtrooper? How did she even know? Because she has no idea what
Mind
a
control.
Jedi is or
Right,
what the
right,
Force
right.
is, and she's just sitting there and she goes, you know what? Maybe I could sit here and repeat this to this guy and he'll do it. Maybe that makes sense.
Well, there's some fantasy there. There's some.
No, that's not fantasy.
There's
That's
some
poor writing.
No, there's some Jesus Christ there too. I mean, how did he know that he was that he had what he had the gumption and the spiritual background he had? He just went out there. Jesus.
Analogy.
You
Oh, I
know,
thought you were talking
Jesus
about
just
Luke.
went out, full of the Spirit. That's
But no, he had direction.
you're talking about the Force here.
He had direction.
Come on. You
'Cause
don't
Luke-
recognize the Force in that stuff.
Well, because Luke Skywalker had Obi-Wan telling him through, like, his
well, he
mind.
was dense. Luke. It took a little while for him to get it.
But he actually had
But you
Obi-Wan in the show going, Luke, believe in the Force. Like,
right,
he actually
right.
told him to do
and he
it.
gave him the helmet that he couldn't see, and he got
But see,
the
they didn't do this
crap
one.
beat out of
This
him.
lady was just sitting there pissing her pants because she's in an interrogation thing.
It was
She's
like trying to get on with it. I think this is trying to get on with it. Lucas is just.
Well, they needed to have Luke's voice come in and go. No, I think that would have really added
that
to
would
it.
have been cool. Yeah,
Be like,
yeah.
Her,
But they saved him.
like Rey.
Yeah, they couldn't do that though. If they did
I mean,
that,
think about it. That would bring spook to the whole theater. Think about it, because like you show that scene and she's helpless. She has no idea what's going to happen, and all of a sudden it's silent, and all of a sudden you hear Luke's voice come up and be like, Rey.
Or her grandpa.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that would explain everything. I would have been okay with it.
and then he'd been all right. He was just trashing it because
I
he
just
was so he felt like
that's
it wasn't.
That's
it
all right.
wasn't
I'm such
like
a
it
big
was.
fan. I
don't care.
really can't think of hardly anything negative. Like I said, the first time I saw it, I was so Star Wars struck that the second time I saw it, it was a whole new movie. I got plot lines and stuff that I'd never seen before. Because the first time I was just gaga. It's just like
It
when
looked really
when
good.
you're a big fan, it's just like my eyes are glued open, going, "Oh my God,
Did you
this is
applaud?
so cool!"
Did you applaud whenever Harrison Ford came on the screen?
I'm not a big applauder at a theater.
There was zero applause in
You
our
know,
theater.
I-
Thank
I-
goodness.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't applaud. I'm a stage actor too, so
That's true.
I know he can't hear me, so I'm not going to applaud him. I'm not going to break up the. I want to hear what he's going to say
Wouldn't that
next.
be great? Is you send a tape.
He's not going to hold for applause.
You send a tape to
That's
Harrison
true. Good
Ford,
point.
and it says like to Harrison, "This is me watching your movie," and it's just. So he's like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to hear his applause somewhere.
No, I just loved him. I just loved him in Leia too, and Luke. That's all cool stuff. For
Yeah,
me.
I
That's
thought-
great, cool stuff.
Don't
And
you think-
R2D2 and C3PO,
yeah.
and that new one too, that little round one that rolls. That's cool stuff.
Real cute.
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
able to
that's real
bring
cool
character to
stuff.
that. Isn't that weird
No,
how they can bring such character to this metal object?
Oh yeah.
Well, you know
they got
that's
that many billions of dollars.
That's the theory is C-3PO and R2-D2. That's what Star Wars is all about. It's about those two. Mm-hmm. Because they're always connecting the storylines, and so it's really about droids. So,
Yeah, well, they last through it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't wear out
Yes.
like
yeah.
we people do. They don't get old like Luke does or
Well, see,
Harrison Ford.
I told Richard, if you see it again, I want you to watch for something.
What?
When you see the Millennial Falcon take off the first time, when she's driving it,
Ooh, I love that.
when you watch it, see if you don't see a wire connected to the Millennial Falcon. I saw it twice. I saw a wire, and I'm going like, what is that?
You saw
What is-
a wire.
I saw a wire.
It ruined your suspension of disbelief?
No, of course not. But I thought,
Well,
why
I
would they? It made me mad at if that's what it was. It wasn't an antenna. It wasn't anything that I could have mistaken as wire. It was.
Yeah.
So if you see it again, watch for that when she takes off the first time, and drives it, and then see.
But
as
$1
she's driving
billion
around.
and you can't get rid of the wire?
You couldn't get
What
a
is that?
better
huh?
eraser than that?
Give me a break. Holy Moses.
Richard doesn't think possible because of the technology they're using now. But I think
it's entirely possible, but it wouldn't bother me. You know, I suspend my disbelief as soon as I sit down in the theater, baby.
Ain't that the truth? Okay, well, we got to wrap it up. Thank you, Dennis, for dropping by. This is the way this radio station
I'm just trying to get out of work.
And listen, the show that I had with Dennis O'Connor will be up probably later today. So watch our archives for when Dennis was on December 10th. And we found his show, The Lost Episode.
Promise is promise.
Okay, you're listening to Cindy Cochran Show. Have a great weekend. Remember, God loves you. God's got this, and make somebody happy because you'll be happier. See you Monday.
May the force be with you.
Thank you for checking out a podcast on Lone Star Internet Radio. Lone Star Internet Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station, broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas. If you are interested in sponsoring a program for Lone Star Internet Radio, just visit us online at irlonestar.com or message us on Facebook. We are always taking song requests on Twitter, and if you are interested in getting involved with the station, by either hosting your own show or if you want to be a DJ, just contact Dick at irlonestar.com. Lone Star Internet Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station.